Hello, let's check in with The Code Breaker by Walter Isaacson, about Jessica Doudna, Cryptor, gene editing, and the future of humanity, I guess. Well, we'll see. It's definitely one future. The section, no ahs, no ums. The section goes back, we're into very much the debate still over what are we going to use this for. Doudna seems to slightly shift because at first I think she was saying no germline editing, basically no actually altering the gene, the DNA of embryonic new human beings. But she seems to have shifted to no medically unnecessary. So what she terms is a prudent course, which is going after genetic illnesses, things that dramatically make people's lives miserable, short, and brutal. I'll go after those. Stuff like Huntington, sickle cell. I think she's confronted with a mother who sends a picture of a little baby, which reminds her of pictures of her child, who has got some genetic thing, which means the very cells are just going to degrade on this baby, and probably is not going to get out past 10 years old before they die, which is, it's heartbreaking. And that is stuff that they could actually do something about. So she kind of alters her choices. There's very much more of a thing of we need to build the society around this to encompass this versus letting it just go crazy, abdicating any responsibility for it whatsoever. And she's very much about the responsibility for it. At the very end here, we do have, though, the kind of disquieting example of James Watson, who, major elder figure of this field, with his discoveries with Crick, that has racist views. He's going on about how, we can use this to make dumb people smarter, and he singles out black people, saying both black people, the evidence shows that black people are just genetically are not as intelligent as the other races, even though all the evidence, all the actual credible scientific evidence, does not agree with that. That seems to come from just straight up racism. But and that's basically that is isolated him from the field. And Doudna says it's a shame that somebody who had the opportunity to be the great leader of this field, someone who could kind of be shining the light forward, has flushed that all away, and is now he's not invited to the CRISPR meetings any longer. She actually goes to meet him, and he basically keeps on about this stuff. He's an old, frail man who's, I guess he's been in an accident, so he's just not really there. He has a son who has schizophrenia, and you can see that one of the things that he's thinking about is that maybe they could figure out the thing for schizophrenia, which that would be a laudable thing. But just all this other stuff. But you kind of think, it's like, well, if you have people like James Watson around, these are the kind of people who could get a hold of this stuff, and what would they do with it? In maybe in positions of power, what kind of eugenics crap could they be doing? Eugenics, which means good genes, and I'm sure it would be by people who thought they were doing the right thing, and it would be a thing that would have very lasting consequences on a lot of people's lives if they were allowed to enact that. That's pretty scary. So it's going to be a tool, and Isaacson actually goes to Doudna's lab and participates in using CRISPR. And it's like he says, like, well, look, I had there was the lab tech people, scientists there who helped me do it, and it was easy because they were there. But it kind of just highlights that, okay, maybe I couldn't do it, but it wouldn't take that much training to be somebody who could do this. It'd be something that's going to be very accessible. It's like going to need to think about, how much can we build up of 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 using these tools properly before they're just out and available. He talks about how you can buy, there's a lot of stuff that you can already just buy fairly inexpensively to be able to do stuff. So it's like, shit, shit. Um, it still seems kind of scary, and you think about stuff like just the simple stuff like internet etiquette. It's taken us a while to get to a point where it's still a fucking dumpster fire on the internet with how people societally work. We have built up a lot of general codes and agreements of how to act, but that doesn't mean there's still not like a good 5-10% of the internet which is just screaming children of all ages, berating and horribly harassing people. So it makes you wonder about this using this technology. Um, that said, it's also got the potential to do so much good in the world too. Which I guess that's the thing you have to say about all this stuff. It's like you can only hope at the dawn of something like this that, yeah, there's going to be shitty stuff is going to happen, but maybe, hopefully, it'll be balanced out by the good stuff. And mRNA is messenger RNA. Vaccines are definitely a good thing that have come out of all this stuff just in the nick of time. So, yeah, that's about all I have to say about that tonight. I'm gonna go have a bath, and then I'll be back out to dirk it up. More videos later.